wemahwe, ahlashiwe, fetish, effigy, totem, portable rock art. That's all the same thing, and we're going to talk about it. It all started with rocks. In the beginning, natural formations caught the eyes of our ancestors. It didn't take long before they started embellishing on them. After too long, they pretty much ran out of all the naturally occurring images that they could embellish. So, it turned into an art form. So much of an art form that they would have competitions. If you could make a really good one, you had a higher social status than somebody that couldn't. So this was a social hierarchy type. Like, there was other things involved than just, oh, you're skilled. Skilled hunters were up here. Skilled carvers were up here. If you couldn't make these, you weren't held very high. Now, everybody could make them, I will say that. This was something that was passed down from generation to generation to generation. This is common knowledge, just as common as how to start a fire. Everyone knew how to make these, and I'll tell you how I know why. I know why because, just because, it's just because. These things, the really fancy ones that you see with the Zuni today, that is modern. That's done with Dremels, grinding wheels, modern tools. This stuff was done with stone tools. This is knapping, flaking, chipping, pecking, grinding, sanding. So back in the day, around the time when they invented Christopher Columbus, the fur trade was going on. These cross-cultural trades needed a way to communicate. So, if you're sitting here wondering, I didn't think there was gorillas in North America. Well, you know what? Maybe there wasn't, maybe there was. But here's the theory, too. The reason that there's gorilla rocks in North America could be because they carved what they saw. But it also could be because of that cross-cultural trade. Imagine how exciting a stone would be if you've never seen an ape or a gorilla or anything like that, an elephant, a mammoth. Someone brings you a stone with that on it. Whoa. I'd trade for it. I mean, they didn't have a whole lot going on. It was whatever nature provided. They didn't have anything. So these things were sacred. Super, super sacred. When they carved them and they got the animal in it, it was believed to possess the power and wisdom of that animal. They'd wear it on their chest, and that's why sometimes you'll see a little hole drilled, because they were putting it around their neck. They wanted to wear it as close as they could to their heart. It would give them the wisdom and power of the animal. And then, for instance, this one's a deer. So if a hunter did get a deer, he would put this on his chest. A deer would come, he would harvest it or shoot it, he would run up on it right away. While it was taking its last breaths, he would suck the breath out of the deer's nostrils and blow it into this one. Now, the sacred stone had spirit. And it was just their belief system. That's all it was religion. So I'm not sure if it was really, it kind of started by light coming in the cave and people seeing stuff on the walls. You know, it started by seeing something when they were out wandering around that says, hey, that looks like a bird beak. I'm going to peck around and make a bird out of it. I'm just going to embellish just a little bit. Like that geode's perfect if I, for an eye, if I just put this right there. It's just, everything was sacred to them. You know, in this modern society, I don't really think that we have the appreciation for anything. I think we don't appreciate anything, and we take everything for granted. And that's the wrong way to live. I'm telling you, these people appreciated everything. It's just a different way of living, and we've gone so wrong. We've gone so backwards and wrong. Our ancestors, they learned how to live. They learned how to do everything with nothing. And now we do nothing with everything. The older I get, I don't like modern society. I don't like modern life. It's not the way to live. We're wasteful. We overconsume. We throw crap away. Just the whole notion of going to work to make money, to buy stuff that we don't need. Why do we do it? Does anyone know? I'm not saying I'm going to go out and quit my job, dissolve my business. I'm not going to do that. But man, these guys knew how to live. And maybe that's why it's so interesting and intriguing. Maybe that's why I just can't get enough. For one, I'm still trying to learn and teach you guys. But for two, I want to be these guys. I want to live my life the way they lived theirs. Because from what I can see in the rocks, they appreciated things. They were grateful. They weren't mean to each other. Well, maybe they were. But for the video's sake, let's say everyone was just hunky-dory nice. I don't know. The rocks have kind of taught me you don't waste things. Use everything. It doesn't matter what continent you go on to, they were making these things. They were making them. Some way or another. Now, I did find a website that talks about fetishes. It's got a very nice article. And it does say, the only thing I could find on old-style stone fetishes are that many of them are unrecognizable. That's it. I've been looking for over a year. And that's it. So far, that's it. That's all I can find. One sentence in a year. The older style ones are not as recognizable. Yeah, that's true. But if you look, you can see them. You just gotta look. That's all you gotta do. You gotta take time to look. You gotta stop. You gotta slow down. Take the earbuds out of your ears. Stop and slow down. Go outside. Go outside barefoot. Put your feet in the grass and sit down. And just sit there. That's what I recommend for everybody who watches this video. If you're watching it right now, that's what I recommend. Take your feet off. Take your feet off. Take your shoes off. Go outside and ground. Be one with nature. Go touch a flower. Go touch a plant. Go hug a tree. Go plant a tree. Go out and be one with nature. It's who we are. It's what we are. It's where we came from. And it's why we are here today. We are nature. Get outside and live. Sitting inside sucks. Go outside. Go look at some rocks. Go look at some plants. Go try and learn tree identification. Do something. Go try and build a bow. Make some arrows and a bow. Like, see if you can do that. Make a blowgun and some blow darts. If you can find some river cane and some milk thistles. I mean, I know there's a lot of stuff to do this day and age. But what do you even gain? Like, what? Is there any sense of accomplishment anymore? I don't really get one. I get one with my job. But, you know, when I go buy a new bookcase or a bookshelf, you know, like a cheap $20, $30, $40 one and put it together, I don't even have a sense of accomplishment. But if I would have made that thing from scratch, you bet, I would have been damn proud of that thing. And I think that's where we went wrong. We've made it so nobody needs to do anything anymore. And now nobody wants to do anything. I know one thing, I'm never going to stop. I'm never going to stop doing. And I'm going to go backwards in my ways so I can go forward in my life. Everything's been made so easy. We're ungrateful. We're not appreciative. Everything comes so easy. We don't have to work for it. There's no sense of accomplishment. The way that these people lived their life, they didn't deal with any of that. They were proud. They had a sense of accomplishment. They had to look at the stuff they were creating. They were happy and laughing. I'm not saying I'm not happy and laughing, because I am. I just think it could be better. I think we're destroying this planet with our modern ways. And I think we need to go backwards before it's too late. Now, I'm not some climate crisis freak. I'm just saying we need to change our ways before we create irreversible damage. That's it. Not just for the sake of the earth, but what about for the sake of society? You know, my wife was telling me a story about this guy, and he got sick with MS, and his own daughter won't even come see him. While he was going through it, he hasn't seen her in years. And too tough to see, so she just removed herself. You're going to do that to the guy that raised you. This is where society's taken us. No respect for elders, especially your father. He raised you. He went to work so you could have things, so you could go without, so you could have those new shoes and that new backpack and whatever else. And he gets sick and you're going to abandon him? That's where we're headed as a society. The Hopi said it. There's two paths. One path to destruction and one not. And boy, society is on the wrong path. We do everything. It's all about the dollar. It's all about the mighty dollar. We do everything wrong. You know, she should be able to be there, taking care of her father with no worries, taking care of her elder. You know, the fact that they've turned getting old and sick, or getting sick, or dying into a huge profitable business. What's that tell you? Do they care about you as an individual? Or are you just a number? More income. We're doing it wrong. We're doing everything all wrong. We're paying attention to time. We're paying attention to money. And those are the two least important things in our lives. I think we need to turn it around. We need to get back with friends and family. We need to start getting together, making music, making art, laughing, having a good time, hunting, feasting. That's what we need to be doing. That's what we were here to do. It's Creekstain. I'll see you later. So it's really going to explain, I think, why we see repeating motifs, repeating characters. You see, when Squirrel Girl, for instance, that specific character, I think was a very famous high up person. And the reason that we see the same motif, or her image, over and over and over and over, or with Venus over and over and over and over, is because when they made it and wore it, they believed that they had the power of that person. If they made an animal, they had the power of the animal. If they made the person on the stone, they had the power, the knowledge of that person. So when you see repeating motifs, it's gotta be somebody that was high up with a lot of power. So Creekstain, how can it be you claim it's every stone? I do. But how can it be every stone? Well, think about it. Like, there's been a lot of people for a long time. And if this was common knowledge, everybody was making these their entire lives and teaching everybody how to make them their entire lives. And so you have tools, and you have charms, and you have protection amulets, you have healing stones, you've got rock sling ammo. I could keep going. Between all of them, I mean, if everybody kept an amulet on them, and everybody made it, and everybody made tools, and everybody made someone a charm and gave it to somebody, that's why. Tons of people. Been a long time with a lot of people. That's why. Oh. That actually kind of makes sense. Right.